Namaste. Taptaganjana Gaurangi Shiradi Shabana Sube Devi Pranamami Devancha Kalpadiru Vesha Kripasindhu Evaja Padidana Pavane Vaishnavi Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bodalesh Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidina Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudamani Prajayini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshtai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue with 19th sloka. So chapter 10, that is opulence of the absolute, and sloka number 19 to 42. Okay. So anybody knows Chatusloki from here? Kantastha by heart. All the 4 slokas, very important to understand 10.8, 9, 10, and 11. Especially those who are preachers, taking class and all. It's easy, like if you daily recite the sloka in the Brahma Muhurta, especially in the Brahma Muhurta, then it's very easy to understand the sloka. But you should always understand with the meaning. That's very important. Okay, we'll try to finish this chapter today. So 19th sloka is about 1942 is about Lord Krishna describing a few of his vibhutis. Okay, so it's very easy. This slokas will just go on reading the different attributes or representative of Krishna. So in his unlimited vibhutis, only his little limited is being mentioned here. Shri Bhagavan Vaja Hantate Kataishyami Divyahi Atma Vibhutayaha Pradanyata Kuru Shreshta Nashri Anto Vishratasya Me. The Supreme Personality Godhead said, I will tell you my splendor manifestations by, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, because my opulence is unlimited. So it's limitless or unlimited. Krishna's opulence is unlimited. So, but he's saying only the limited ones, those who are prominent. Okay. So he's telling from the 20th sloka like that. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasya Sthidaha Aham Adim Shamatyam Sha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. So he says he's the super soul Arjuna seated in the hearts of all living entities and in the beginning and the middle and the end of all beings. So why is Arjuna addressed as Gudakesha? You can raise your digital hand. Yes, Sridevi Mataji.
He conquers sleep and ignorance. Guda means sleep and Kesha means.
Okay. Sleep and ignorance. Some more explanation.
He wants Krishna to clear his ignorance.
Ignorance. Okay. What about sleep? How does a devotee conquer sleep? What do you mean by conquering sleep? Doesn't mean the devotee doesn't sleep. No, the devotee sleeps. But what is the real meaning of conquering sleep? Okay, ignorance is one part, as Mataji said, ignorance and sleep. But what is that sleep? Yes, Anita Mataji.
I'm not. Actually, even in sleep, he is remembering Krishna. Always
Very
he is
good.
remembering Krishna.
Yeah, you know any pastime to explain that? Does anyone remember any pastime to say that Arjuna remembers Krishna even in the sleep? No one knows?
Narada asked.
Yes.
And then he went and he checked while sleeping. The heart was beating as Krishna.
Yes. So when Narad Muni once went, he saw Arjuna sleeping on the lap of Krishna. So it should be the other way around. No, Krishna should be sleeping on the lap of Arjuna. But it was so Narad Muni is like, why Krishna? Arjuna is sleeping on your lap. What is this? What is so great about Arjuna? So, and he's sleeping on your lap. You know, sleep is a condition where we are actually forgetting everything. Like, so Krishna is like, no, he's not like that. So one hair of Arjuna was fallen on the ground. So Krishna is like, take that hair and keep it near your ears. So when Narad Muni kept that hair towards his ears, he could hear the chanting of Krishna's holy name. So Arjuna was chanting Krishna's holy name continuously, even in sleep. So as Anita Mataji said, even in sleep, a devotee doesn't forget Krishna. He remembers Krishna even in sleep. Right? Sleep is ignorance, or devotee is definitely not in ignorance, but sleep, it actually means that even though he's sleeping, still he remembers Krishna, in the sense the chanting was going on. So in that way, he's called Gudakesha. He have conquered both ignorance and sleep. So he's saying he's like a super soul in everyone's heart. And he's in the 21st sloka, he's going to sell his vibhutis. Okay. These are all representative of Krishna. It doesn't mean Krishna is Himalayas, or Krishna is Agni, or Krishna is the moon. No, they're representatives of Krishna. Okay. Or Krishna's energy. Adityanam aham Vishnur Jyotisam Revir Amshuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Krishna says, out of all the stars, he is the moon. So Adityas, very easy to understand. So you can just tabular column will really help you. For Adityas is Vishnu, luminaries is sun, Marathis is Marichi, and stars is moon. So sun and moon is which part of Krishna?
Eyes.
Yes, eyes. Okay, so the eyes of Krishna, right? The sun and the moon, it is said to be the eyes of Krishna. And also Bhagavad Gita says, Rasoham apsu kaundeya prabhasmi shashi suryo. So he is the light of sun and moon, so Krishna. So whenever you see moon and the sun, once Prabhupada was going for a evening walk and he saw full moon, and immediately he said to his disciples, Nitai pada kamala kodi chandra shushitala. There's a Vaishnava bhajan saying that Nitai pada kamala, like the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, who's Balram, is kodi chandra shushitala, like thousands of crores of moon light. So immediately he could connect the moon to the Lord, the Supreme, Balram or Nityananda Prabhu. So he's saying that out of stars he's the moon. And also sometimes Krishna, because Radharashami is coming, Krishna sometimes say that Radharani, your face is like a moon. But she got angry instead. She should feel happy, but instead she felt angry. And the Acharya's comment what the reasons why she got angry. Can anyone say? I think I've shared this once. Why do you think Radharani got angry when her face is compared to a moon? Yes, Charu Mataji.
Mataji, maybe it's because Radharani felt that moon has black spots. So she got little unhappy that whether she has any black things, anything bad.
No, come again. What Mataji?
The moon has black spots.
Yes, very good. Yes, spots, right? The moon has spots. That's one reason. And Radharani's face doesn't have all that spots, right? The rabbit-like marks. Okay. Where else this comparison comes? The rabbit-like spots on the moon. Analogy. Chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita.
When a devotee actually by accidentally he falls down in his devotional.
Yes. So
that's why it's compared that it should be considered as like spots in the moon.
Spots on the moon. Why spots on the moon? What does it do?
Because he's actually a pure devotee. He's taking holy names and all. So we should not consider him as durachara.
Yes, abhiche sudurachara pachante mamannevak sadhureva samandavya samyak vyavasito. So we should consider him saintly. But the spots on the moon doesn't interfere with the illumination of the moon, right? The moonlight keeps coming, even if there are rabbit-like spots. Similarly, a devotee might be accidentally fall down. So that's in 9.31, right? That's a sloka. 9.31 purport. This is a Bhakti Shastri question. You should be knowing all the analogies like anything. And then it's easy to reach and also to understand. So I think 9.30, 9.30, Apiche Suracharo. So in that, the mark of a rabbit on the moon. Okay, so there is marks on the rabbit-shaped marks on the moon. Such spots do not become an impediment to the diffusion of the moonlight. Similarly, an accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of a saintly character does not make him abominable, right? So one reason why Radharani got angry is because the moon has spots and she doesn't have spots on her face. She's Gaurangi, right? That's one reason. Second reason our acharyas compare is the moon, you have seen, Purnima, it is like full moon. And as it goes to Amavasi, it becomes smaller and smaller in size. And there is no moon. That means the beauty increases and decreases. Does the beauty of Radharani increase and decrease? No. She's Chudamani, Gopi Chudamani. She's like the highest of beauty. And so in that is another reason. And there's an opposite group of gopis who's like always fighting with Radharani's group just for a pastime purpose. Her name is Chandravali. So Chandra is moon and Chandravali. When she hears Chandra, she remembers of Chandravali. There's another reason which Acharya is compared. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why Radharani got angry when her face was compared to the moon. But Krishna is also Krishna Chandra, Ram Chandra, we say Gaura Chandra. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, there was an eclipse. Even though it was a full moon, there was an eclipse. Why? There are Acharya's commentary. This might be from the Goswami books that I heard from Vaishnavas.
Was shy seeing the beauty of Chaitanya.
Yeah, because Gaura Chandra was like the most effulgent moon. You know, when Krishna shows the universal form, next chapter, 11th chapter, we'll see the universal form chapter. The universal form is compared to thousands of sun rising. Right, so just imagine the effulgence of thousands of sun. That's Krishna's glory or Krishna's brightness, right? So, okay, so that's why. Okay, so when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Gauranga Nimai appeared, it was like Gaura Chandra was so glorious and so bright that even the moon, which had spots, felt shy and was hiding kind of an eclipse. So these are all related to the moon. So Nakshatrana Mahamshashi doesn't mean Krishna is the moon. It's just this representative of his energy. Because when we see the moon, we are supposed to remember Krishna. That's what it is said. Vedanam samavedosmi devanam asmi vashava indriyanam manaschasmi bhudanam asmi chetana. Of the Vedas, I'm the Samaveda. And demigods, his Indra senses is the mind, and living being is the consciousness. Okay. So Indra, demigod. So then why you might ask for the Govardhan Leela and all that? That's Krishna is teaching us, for example, that Indra is a post or a position. Okay, so when nobody is ready to become Indra or Brahma, then Krishna himself becomes it, or Vishnu come to that post. But Indra become so addicted to his post that you can see all through Bhagavatam that he does so many things just to hold on to that position of Indra. And who can become Indra? By doing what you become Indra?
Ashwamedha Yagas.
How many? 1,000. Okay. So that's why he had to stop Prithu Maharaj from doing it. He stopped because he didn't want Prithu Maharaj to come to the position of Indra. Rudranam Sankarashasmi Vedoso Yaksha Rakshasa Vasunam Pavakaschasmi Meru Shikarinam Aham. So out of Rudras, he's Shankar. Actually, there are 11 Rudras, it is said. And Lord Shiva is prominent. And Yakshas and Rakshas is Kuvara, Vasus is Agni, mountain, he is Meru. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, I couldn't hear who can become Indra.
No, the Lord. Somebody who did 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajna, the horse sacrifice, can come to the post of Indra. And next, who's next Indra? Does anyone know? The next Manvantara. Who's
Bali Maharaj.
Very good, Bali Maharaj. Yeah, so Bali Maharaj is going to be the next Indra. So Indra is a post, Mataji, like a president, prime minister. It's a post. It's not a person as such. And whoever does 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajna, a lot of punya and all go to that post to become the king of demigods, Indra. But then what is the use? Shene punya matilogam vishanti. And then what happens? The next Indra, if nobody is qualified to become to Indra or Brahma, then the Lord himself takes that post. Urodasham cha mukhyam mam viti partha brihaspati senaninam aham skanda sharasham asmishagaraha. So of the chief, he is Brihaspati. Brihaspati was the guru of the demigods. No, he is. So commanders, he is Kartikeya, and water bodies is ocean. Okay, these are all nothing to explain here much. Just to understand, these are Krishna's vibhuti. Some of them. Maharshinam Brigur Aham Giram Asmi Egam Aksharam Yajnanam Japayatnyosmi Stavaranam Himalayaha Yajnanam Japayasmi. So he is the chanting of the holy name. After all the sacrifice, Krishna is the japa. So when you sit properly and do the japa, How many of you finished? You can raise a digital hand. Your 16 rounds in Brahma Muhurta. How many of you finish it? Like when we start after Mangalarati 4:30, we start from 5 to 7. How many of you finished? Neeraj Mataji, Sudha Mataji, Anita Mataji, Charu Mataji, Kishore Kumar Prabhu, Dinesh Prabhu. Okay, so many, all of you. Good. Okay. So good. So you feel so happy, no? Once you finish the japa in the early morning, it's like gives you a lot of energy, and then that has to be done. Others, I know some job issues and personal issues and family and all that, but try to somehow see that you cut short your sleep and try to get up early, have your dinner early. Like before I came to class, I already had my dinner. So now what happens if I have my dinner 6:30, 6:45 before 7, then I have like 3 hours of digestion happening before I go to sleep. If I'm going at 9, 9:30, then by then at least 3 hours digestion has happened already. So my stomach is now free, and then I can have proper sleep. If you take dinner around 9 and you go to bed at 10, then the digestion is still going on. Even if your body is resting, the metabolism keeps happening, and you won't feel fresh in the morning. You can't get up. So if you have early dinner before 7, you sleep by 9:30, 10. Quickly by 3:30, you are up. You don't have to force yourself. You will be fresh, and then you take bath and all, attend Mangalarati, and then you sit and chant. That early morning Brahma Muhurta chanting, I'll tell you, you'll never get that concentration anywhere. You try to chant after 7 a.m. It's going to be Raja Guna, and evening it's Tamo Guna, and you won't have qualitative japa. You might be doing 16 rounds, just a number, but the quality would be very, very poor. So please try to get up early and then try to do as fast as possible, because then only you'll have, because inattentive chanting is also an offense. That's the greatest offense. Okay, so try to do it. If you're doing it during the day, there's so many thoughts are going to be in the mind. The mind is not fresh, and then you'll be just doing the japa, but it's just going to be mechanical. Just try to do it in Brahma Muhurta. Take it from me, it will really help you. And the more concentrated your japa is, the more advanced your devotional service becomes, or you can advance very easily. And the rest, everything follows. Once your japa is perfect, then everything is perfect. So try to finish your japa early morning. Somehow make a point that some adjustment has to be done. Some sacrifice from your side has to be done. If you take it lightly, then yeah, understand. So whichever is Brahma Muhurta in your place, like everyone, like Charu Mataji is from US and Narasimha Prabhu, you're from different parts of the world, but whichever Brahma Muhurta is in your place, your standard time, that time you should chant. Okay, so that's important. That's the standard, because Prabhupada, he never had jet lag. Whichever part of the world he flies, that area, what is the time, that place, he does his routine there. Never had a jet lag. No, he's Paramahamsa. We can't be like that. But at least take inspiration and try to chant. And when you do it alone, it's not easy. But when you come to Zoom and try to chant with devotees, and you see all of them, all your colleagues and everyone, they're owning the videos and sitting and chanting. That's very nice, actually. So, by the way, in our group, Kishore Kumar Prabhu got initiated. And what's your initiated name, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Keshav Jagatpati Das.
Very well. Good. All glories to Guru Maharaj. So he went to Mayapur and he got initiated from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Good. Nice, Prabhu. You should come in your initiated name now, like, because it's offense to not come in initiated name. Okay, you should join in your initiated name, because at least it says that once Guru gives you the initiated name, it's like second birth for you, and your karma is crushed, and rest now Guru has taken charge of your soul. So that means in devotee circle, karmi world, okay, in your workplace and everything is okay. At least in devotee circle, you should come in your initiated name. Okay.
Actually, Mataji, this all scores and result and name, everything was
that's right. That's okay. We can edit it, because even Sarvanti Mataji also was like that. So that might be bracket. You can write Kishore Kumar, or later on you remind me, so that we can tally your assignments and everything in that way. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay,
Mataji,
so
I have one question actually, Mataji. Can I ask?
Uh-huh.
This actually it happened, Mataji. So All of a sudden, means yesterday I took initiation, but before that only evening 4 p.m. I got the message that there is a program for initiation. So I just tried to contact Sri Lakshmi Mataji, but she might be busy.
No,
So
you are in
direct,
Kolkata now. For you, Mayapur is easy
yes, Mataji. So
because
I
you don't know
approached
when
to
Guru Maharaj is
JPA.
traveling.
I approached
Yeah.
JPS office and they allowed me that if you can come by 7 morning,
Yes.
we can accept you because your name is there already.
Good.
So
Okay.
my question
So
is,
we are
Mataji, did I do any Vaishnava Aparadh?
no. Because Guru Maharaj is expected to come to Mangalore soon. So we are waiting for his association. And so we'll announce the date soon. But everything depends on his health. We can't force our Guru. So wherever is convenient for you, you can take, like Charu Mataji took initiation from US. So Guru comes, Prabhu. It's not like we plan. It's that you are sincere. I've seen you chanting at Mangalarati. After that, you on your videos and 2 hours you sit and chant. That's your sincerity. Guru knows it and Guru takes you. Like, it's not us who's doing anything. We're just instruments, but it's Guru who decides, or Krishna who decides and sends the Guru. So when it's time for the soul to get connected to the Guru, it happens automatically. So that we don't know, Prabhu. It's Krishna deciding.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so here what happened, and now Yajnanam Japa Yajnasmi. So Japa is very important in our sadhana. The first thing is in our sadhana is Japa. You don't compromise Japa at any cost, So Japa has to be done properly. In other time of the day, you might be doing quantity, but then quality won't be good. How much ever you try, because Shuddha Sattvagun is there in the nature when you in Brahmurta. So it's easy to chant. Easily you can concentrate. Every word you should hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Not like jet speed, you to just complete the japa. No, that's not the way it is done. Even the course, you can't say that, oh, why Bhakti Shastri is going slow. It's a 2 years course, by the way. And we are not in a race to complete it fast. No, to get the degree. No, it's to understand the philosophy. Right? That's very important to understand the philosophy. So similarly, Japa is not a race to finish 16 rounds. It's to hear it. Okay, that's very important. Next IDC will be next month, Mataji. We already finished 7 batches and we are also tired of taking every month. It's a lot of process going on because we need to teach. We have to keep exam and correct the papers and send the certificates. Long process. So we have already finished 7 batches. Next, we will see when to announce because it's been happening so many months and okay. So Jnanam Jabayasmi. So when you do japa, it's Krishna. Krishna is dancing in your tongue as holy name because Kalikale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna has come in his holy name in Kali Yuga. So that's the best way to get associated with Krishna. Ashwata Sarva Vrikshanam Devarshinam Chanarada Gandharvanam Chitaradaha Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. So after all the trees, what is he? The banyan tree, and the sages among demigods, he's Narada, Gandharva, he's Chitrarata, and perfect means he's Kapila Dev, okay, when he gave the Sankhya philosophy. These are all Krishna's representative. Narada is a pure devotee, definitely pure devotees like spiritual masters are representative of Krishna. Ucheshravam Ashmanam Vititmam Amritodhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam Chanarapadim. So after horses, he's who? Uchishrava. So can you put in the chat, where did you find this name? Where did Uchishrava come? And lordly elephants, he's Airavata. Of men, he is king. So these are different vibhudis of Krishna. I repeat again and again. Ayudhanam aham vajram denu nam asmi kamatu. Prachanam shasmi kandarpa sarpanam asmi vasuki. So he's Vasuki. Yeah, the Samudra Mandan. Good. So in the Samudra Mandan, this Uchishrava, the horse, came out. So now he's saying of the weapons, he's thunderbolt. So Krishna can become soft as a rose and as hard as a thunderbolt for a demon, right? So he is a thunderbolt. Like, for example, this Chitraketu Maharaj got cursed to become Vritrasura in the 6th canto. There, Vritrasura could be killed only with a thunderbolt, which Indra makes from the bone of Dadaji, another Brahmana. So he had to die, Dadaji had to die. But Krishna said, that thunderbolt which you make in that bone of my devotee, that power will be mine. So that means the Lord has invested his power in the thunderbolt so that Vritrasura could be killed. Why? Because Vritrasura is a nice, pure devotee and he can get moksha in that way. Sort of cow is Surabhi, Lakshavadeshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam. and cause of procreation he is Kandarpa, and serpents he is Vasuki. Anyway, where did you come across Vasuki? Vasuki, can put in the chat, where is Vasuki coming?
Same Samudra
Samudra Mandara. So the Mandara mountain has been tied by, the Mandara mountain is being tied by the Vasuki. That's also Krishna's expansion. Anantas chasmina gana varuno yadasam swaham pidrinam aryama chasmi yama samyamatam aham. So what is he? Demons, he is Ananta, he's many hooded snakes, so Ananta Shesh. So Ananta Shesh have thousands of hoods, right? And Ananta Shesh says his expansion of Balrama Sankarshana. He says that even Ananta Shesh start glorifying Krishna, and he cannot stop glorifying with his 1,000 tongues. So what can we do with our one tongue? Can we glorify him? That's why Prithu Maharaj and Rupa Goswami says, I need billions and millions of ears and tongues so that I can chant and hear the holy name of Krishna. And aquatics is Varuna, and sisters is Arima, dispensers of long. He's Yama, even Yamaraj, representative of Krishna. But still, when they're all Mahajans, right? Prahalada Shasmi Daityanam, Kala Kalyatam Aham, Mriganam Cha Mrigendro Aham, Vainateyas Cha Pakshinam. So among Daitya, he's Prahlad, this representative of Prahlad is a pure devotee, and subdues his time. So Kala speak, Krishna is only time. So when we say I don't have time in Brahma Muhurta to chant, either you're sleeping, or you're busy with cooking, or you are going for a job or something, whatever it is, Namination Prabhu says you should have your separate Brahma Muhurta, in the sense you can get up early, or you have to do some compromise. And because you can never say I don't have time, because for a devotee, Krishna expands the time because he is time. Right? So we will have time if we give priority to our chanting. So it is said that those who are not chanting in Brahma Muhurta, those who are not getting up, they're not serious in devotional service. They're not serious. If you're serious, you don't feel like sleeping at that time. You have to get up. So that should come in you that, oh, I have to do my japa. And once you try to do 16 rounds in early morning, you see the difference. When that day you chanted, you might be sleeping in the beginning. When you're sleepy, you get up and chant, or walk and chant. But best is to sit in one place, close your eyes and chant. Not feel sleepy, but okay. So his beast is lion, and the birds is Garuda. So the carrier of Krishna. So these are all different opulences. So we can just read and go because not much explanation needed. Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Bridam Aham Vyasanam Margashascha Shrotasam Asmi Janari. So purifying agent, he is the wind, holders a weapon, he's Rama, Parashurama, fishes is the shark, and rivers he's Ganges. Okay, so yeah, these are all Krishna's opulence. So Ganges is compared to pure devotees. Does anyone know? It says pure devotees are more glorious than Ganges. Why?
May I answer, Mataji? Yeah, Ganges, it takes over time you get purified. But a devotee, instantly you get purified.
Yeah, so sadhu sangha, sarva shastra. Lava matra. What is lava? Can you put in the chat? How much is lava? Lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. So
1 by 11.
I told to put in the chat, and we'll have raised hands because otherwise so much confusion. 1 by 11th of a second. Good. So the lava matra sadhu sangha. Okay. So what happens? Yeah, as Sachinanda Prabhu said, the pure devotees can purify the Ganges also. What happens? Ganges is Krishna. How did Ganges come, by the way? Raise your digital hand. How did the Ganges come into this world? Yes, Sudha Mataji.
From the toes of Lord Krishna.
Toes, yeah. In which avatar? When Lord came as who? Dinesh Prabhu.
Mataji, avatar I don't know, but it came from the toes or foot of the Lord.
Vamana avatar.
Good, Vamana. Yes, Vamana avatar. So when the Lord came in the Vamana form, and he was want to take earth one step and the second step sky. So when he was taking the second step, his toes, he became so huge that his toes pierced the material universe as the different layers, planetary system, and went to Brahma's world. And it was so effulgent that Lord Brahma saw it, and he took some water from his kamandalu and did Abhisheka, Pada Seva, to the Lord, and that came as Ganges. That's one explanation. Second is that when the whole was made in the material universe and to the spiritual, till the spiritual sky, the Viraja river, the Kaushal ocean, flow down as Ganges. Also said the Lord himself came as Ganges. So Ganges when people do sin and go dip in the Ganges, they get purified. But how does Ganges get purified? All the sins get accumulated in the Ganges, right? Like river, Ganges and Yamuna. But then how does it get purified? When pure devotees go and take a dip, all the sins get crushed and they purify even the Ganges, as Sachinananda Prabhu said. Yes. And as Mataji Priyadarshi Mataji said, yes, Ganges, after prolonged use only, it purifies you, not in one dip. But a pure devotee, just by his mercy, by Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, 1/11th of a second association, it purifies you. So that is the thing. Okay, so Sarganam Adirantascha Madhyam Shaivaham Arjuna Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam Vada Pravada Tam Aham. All the creatures, he is the beginning and the end and the middle. He is a spiritual knowledge. He is the conclusive truth in the arguments of logicians. Aksharanam akarosmi dhandava samashikashyasa aham eva kshaya kalo dataham vishvato makaha. Of letters, he is letter A. Of dual compound dhandava. The compound words, he is dual compound, and destroyers is time. Time actually destroys everything. The eternal time. Time destroys everything. And creators, he is a Brahma. So why he said creators, he is Brahma? Why is said that in the creators he is Brahma? Why it is mentioned about Brahma? Why? Because Krishna is the primary creator, Brahma is secondary creator, right? Yes, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. The secondary creation manifestation happens through Brahma only, Mataji. He's a
Yes. Yes, the secondary creation happens from Brahma. But where is Brahma getting the power to do? From Krishna, right? Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kaviya Mukhyandi Yat Suraya. So, yeah, he represents Krishna and he's getting the power from whom? From Krishna only, right? So, in that way, it's actually Krishna doing it. Brahma is just like an instrument there. Everything is done by Krishna. Yeah, Aham Bija Pradapita, Krishna says, the seed giving father. Okay, in that way. Yes, as Mother said, he's a secondary creator, but then the secondary, why it's happening like that? Because Krishna is instructing Brahma, and the power for creation is also given by Krishna. Mrityu sarva haraschaham udbhavascha bhavishyitam kriti shrirvakna narinam smritit medadridakshama. Mrityu sarva harascha aham. Death that takes place at every moment. Death that devours everything, including memory. Mrityu sarva harascha aham. So Krishna takes it says that if we don't die, the material opulences will die from us. On the sense goes, either the material opulences goes from us or we go away from the material opulence. So either way, death is sure, right? It has to. So those who have taken birth has to die. Those who have died have taken birth unless they are liberated. So death will come and it takes everything, including the memory. And he is also generating principles of birth. In women, he is a good qualities like fame, fortune, memory, fine speech, patience, intelligence, and steadfastness. These good qualities are all representing Krishna. Brihat Sama Tada Samnam Gayatri Chandasa Aham Masana Marga Shisho Aham Utunam Kushumakara. Of the hymns is Samaveda. Okay. Because it's beautiful songs that's played for various demigods. And one of the songs is Brihat Sama. Okay. So Sama, and then Gayatri. In poetry, he's Gayatri. Months, he's Margashisha, November, December. And in seasons, he's a flower-bearing spring. Okay. So in that way, Krishna represents that season. Dyutam chalayatam asmi tejas tejasvinam aham jayosmi vyavasayosmi sattvam sattvavam aham. Is also the gambling of cheaters and splendor. So in the splendid, he's the splendor, he's victory, being victorious, and those who are endeavor, he's the effort of the adventure. So that effort is also given by Krishna, not us. So here it is said there are many kind of cheaters all of the universe. Of all the cheating process, gambling stands for supreme. And therefore represents Krishna. Anything supreme is Krishna actually. So if Krishna chooses to deceive someone, no one can surpass him in his deceit. His greatness is not simply one-sided, it's all-sided. So sometimes they were saying like how the Kauravas, the Pandavas, they do gambling. It's not allowed. It's against the 4 regulative principles. But it's said for Kshatriyas, it's allowed. Like for animal killing, it's not allowed, but for anyone. But for a Kshatriya, it's allowed. Why? Because in the forest, unless they go and kill and practice in the animals, how will they fight in the battlefield? So like that, every class, they are based on Varnashram Dharma, it's allowed for them. So somebody challenged in the gambling, they're supposed to go and play. That's why they did. But that's again was Krishna's plan. Unless that happens, where will this battle and all come? And where is Bhagavad Gita? Vrishninam vasudevosmi pandavanam dhananjaya muninam api aham vyasa kavinam ushana kavi. So of the descendant of Vrishni, he is Vasudeva. So Vasudeva is different, Vasudeva is different. Son of Vasudeva is Vasudeva. Right? So Vasudeva is Krishna's father and Pandavas is Arjuna. This is again another reason why Arjuna was selected to hear Bhagavad Gita, not the other Pandavas. Vishaka Saki, yes, he has an eternal associate of the Lord, but then still he is a representative. Arjuna is also a representative of Krishna. Sages, he is Vyasa. That's why Vyasa, another name is what? What is another name of Vyasdev? Is also called as this Charu Mataji.
Krishna Dvaipayana.
Good. Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. Good. So why is he called Vyas? Does anyone know? Why is he called Vyas? Vyasa means something.
Mataji, one more name is Badarayana, no? Badarayana.
Yeah, Badarayana is another name of Vyas. In Charu Mataji, why is called Vyas?
Because he separated the Vedas into 4 Vedas. Vyas means separate.
Good. The Vyas. Okay, you say the radius or the diameter of a circle. That's called Vyas. Like he separated all the Vedas, yes, and he compiled it. And what does a radius or a diameter do? It passes through the center. Like Vyasdev is actually connecting everyone to Krishna because he's Krishna himself. Is Krishna Dvaipayana. Yes. Okay. So and Pandavas, he's Arjuna. It is said. Vasudeva is Krishna's immediate expansion. So Vasudeva is not different from Krishna. Only thing is it's 400 form. Danto damayadam asmi nitid asmi jikeshatam maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam navatam aham. So out of this, So out of means of surpassing lawlessness, he is punishment of danda, and victory seekers, he is morality. Secrets, he is a silence, mauna. And also in the wise, he is wisdom. So the wisdom, that is the knowledge that's coming, is from Krishna. Because when you do bhakti, what happens? Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janadi Asuvairagyam Jnana Chatat Ahaitukam. So you get jnana and vairagya. When you do Vasudeve Bhagavati, you do bhakti to Vasudeva, then Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, if you do Bhakti Yoga, then Janadi Asuvairagya. First comes vairagya, detachment from material things, and jnanam chatat ahaitukam. You get jnana or knowledge. So it comes, automatically it comes. So these are the different opulences. Again, Krishna says describes a few of his unlimited devotees or opulences again. So Krishna, then he says this is just the main prominent ones, Arjuna, because his devotees are unlimited. We can't measure it, but he's just saying the prominent ones. So that whenever we see these like the sun, the moon, Himalayas, we remember Krishna. Anything great, anything beautiful, anything most famous, anything most knowledgeable, very attractive is Krishna's representative. Because unless it's there in the spiritual world, the reflection won't be in the material world. Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tat aham arjuna natat asti vina yatsyan maya bhutacharacharam. So he is a generating seed of all existence, as he says, aham bija pradapita. Krishna is a seed-giving father. So in that way, Krishna is also called as what? Because he is a seed-giving father, he's also called as? Yes. Yes, Anita Mataji. What happened? Anita Mataji.
I was not able to. Prapitamaha.
Prapitamaha. Very good. So Pitamaha is who then?
Brahma.
Yeah, Brahma. So Brahma is the Pitamaha or the father, and his father is Krishna, who's Prapitamaha, right? Okay, that's why Krishna is. So out of the all existence, he's a seed of Bijam. For no moving or non-moving beings existing without Krishna. Okay. So there is no end of Krishna's Vibhuti. Krishna's Vibhuti is unlimited. God knows, yeah, we have. So Krishna's opulence is unlimited. Anything opulent, beautiful, glorious in this world is just a spark of Krishna's splendor. Okay, Prapitamaha. Yeah. Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. Everything is just 1/4 of Krishna's Vibhuti. Okay. Natospi Mama Divyana Vibhutina Parantapa. Okay. So here it is said that Krishna's opulence is, so anything beautiful, opulent, glorious in this world is a spark of Krishna's splendor. Who knows that story where Prabhupada and the air hostess and the brahmachari? Anyone knows? That they went to receive Prabhupada in the airport. Nobody knows? And there was a brahmachari. Yeah, Deval Mataji. What happened?
Mataji, I'll just try. I had heard this recently. The devotees went to receive Prabhupada, and when Prabhupada was entering, so one of the devotees, he saw the air hostess, and he had a placard or garland something for Prabhupada, but he actually started staring at the air hostess who was passing by, and when he looked, Prabhupada was right in front of him, and Prabhupada told him, "So isn't she very beautiful?" So he got very embarrassed, and then Prabhupada said that it is all Krishna's creation.
Yeah. The Prabhupada said, like, if a spark can be so beautiful, just imagine Krishna's beauty. Because the brahmachari was looking at the air hostess like this, and he turned. And by the time he turned, looking at her and turned, it was Prabhupada's time. And those days, it's like you join the movement, you join the temple. You join, ISKCON means you join temple. There's no grihastas like that. Anybody, grihastas, brahmacharis, everyone just joined the temple. With those days, it was like that. But then later on, Prabhupada said, more than temple devotees, it will be devotees outside staying. And so they joined the temple. And whenever Prabhupada is traveling all over the world, he comes and visits. And that's how you meet your spiritual master for the first time. So he was also like that. And as Mataji said, like, he's looking at her and returned this Prabhupada. So Prabhupada's like, if a spark can be so beautiful, just imagine the complete whole Krishna. How beautiful. Kantarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha. We can't even imagine Krishna's beauty. That's Krishna's beauty, right? Madhura Madhura Bimbe Manjulam Mandahase Maratakamani Neelam Balamaloka. So Maratakamani Neelam, it's like a green stone, right? Green because yellow is Krishna. I mean, blue is Krishna and yellow is Radharani. So combined form, it will be green, like Gauranga, golden. So it's just a spark, okay? That's what Krishna says. And it's just a spark of this splendor. Whatever glory is in our place, it's just a spark of Krishna. Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. Okay, so Krishna now speaks of his opulence as a whole. Anything majestical, beautiful, powerful in the past, present, future, everything is Krishna's. Lord Krishna gathers together all vibhutis which he did not mention, and we should consider that all the glory subjects are non-different from Krishna. The last sloka of the chapter says, Adavai Bahuni Kim Jnate Tavachartina Vishtabhyaham Idam Krishnam Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. Ekam Shena. What is the need of their Arjuna for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. The Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universe by his entering into everything as super soul. And Lord, he has tell Arjuna, there's no point of understanding how this exists separate from him because everything is Krishna's energy. Prabhupada also says, one thoroughly study the different description of opulence and expansion of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without doubt the question of Krishna. And Ekam Shena is just a 1/4 of this material creation. So it's with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support. So discuss how hearing Krishna's vibhutis will help you to remember Krishna. You have to select 4 vibhutis from 19 to 42, specifically useful for preaching, and discuss their significance. After this, we'll have your attendance posted. Okay, everyone should please be active in the breakout room. You can select any 4 vibhutis, the best ones, especially for preaching. Okay, it's a preaching application. And how do you convince them that yes, this is Krishna's energy or vibhutis? Okay, that's the question. And after that, we'll have not each one in the group. You can select the vibhuti and you can come back and one person can speak. Best 4 you can take. Everyone can tell their opinion. The best, see how many maximum devotees are for which buddhis, and you can, because it should be practically applied for practical application. Okay. Mataji, you can post that dance link.
Yes, Mataji, posting it.
Hare Krishna. So who's speaking from room number 1? I'll unmute everyone. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Neerja Mataji.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Shall I start, Mataji? Like we discussed in 10.20, he lives, Krishna lives as a super soul or Paramatma within every living entities. So he is with us always, with all the living entities. And the second one is 10.21, among the luminaries, he is the sun. So whenever we go out, we will always be exposed to Krishna, like he is the sun. Then and 10.37, he is among the sages, he is Vyasa. So daily we listen to Bhagavatam, and in that way we'll always be associated with Krishna. And in 10.38, he is the means of suppressing the lawlessness and punishment. Like means according to our karma, we'll be punished. So we should not blame Krishna for any bad things that happen to us. It's all because of our karma we are facing any bad things. Then in 10.4 are over. Yes, Mataji, 10. I have finished all the 4.
Okay.
And one more last one, Mataji. And in 10.39, and he is the seed-giving father. He is responsible for all the existence of all the living entities, whether it's living or non-living things. Hare Krishna, Mataji. If I missed anything.
Yes, room number 2.
Sudha Mataji will represent Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. We all of us discussed, and everyone gave their views, and according to us, that of the 4 devotees, the first one we have discussed about the super soul, Mataji. The super soul, which is discussed in this verse 20. So we are there because of this presence of the super soul and the soul. It's like just 2 birds sitting on a tree. One is eating the fruits and the other one is just observing. So super soul is the observer and the soul is eating the fruits. So there is no life, Mataji. Without the super soul, there is no existence of life. So in the non-living entities, super soul is there, but there is no presence of soul life. And then we discussed that this creation, the cause of creation, Mahavishnu, he enters into the Mahatattva, and then he manifests himself as a super soul in each and every living entity. And this Karanodakshaya Vishnu, because of the glance of Mahavishnu, this creation happens. and he gives information about this creation. And then from that he enters into the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu into each and every atom, and then after that from there we have the Shirodakshaya Vishnu, and who is as Paramatma in the heart of every living entity. So that is the soul is a without it is a life-giving spark, and without which there is no any. If there is no soul, the body is like useless. That is the first vibhuti, and the second vibhuti we discussed was about the sun. Sun, just like there is sun god and sunshine and sun disk, and it is compared to this Brahma Jyoti, Paramatma, and Bhagavan features of the sun god Mother. And for the moon, it is like the taste of the moon, because of the light of the moon. It gives the taste of food and vegetables, and it produces juice. And so, because of that, we are able to uh, enjoy the vegetables and fruits because of the moonshine. And Arjuna, because Krishna, through Arjuna, he gave the concept of Bhagavad Gita for common people like us, so that we can read the Bhagavad Gita and benefit by that. So these were the things which we discussed, Mataji. Mataji, if there's anything remaining, please add anything, Mataji.
Excuse me, Mataji. Some just small corrections. I'm sorry. Excuse me if I'm if I'm going to put it across like this. See, Madhati, we thought that super soul was very important because it's the whole reason the creation begins with the involvement of the super soul, and the living spark in every living entity is because of that. And I was also mentioning, because murtis, I mean, the idols of Krishna are made in wood or in actually mud or in clay, or it could be a rock or whatever it is. Each of these, though the soul doesn't exist in each of these non-living things, it's the super soul that is there, which gives the added charm to all these idols which we worship. And then there was a little bit correction I want to say. I mean, Mataji, maybe just a slip of the tongue it could have been. See, Vishnu is one in the Karna ocean. From his several universe pores of the body, there are Hiranyagarbhas coming out in millions actually. And each of those contain the Garbhodakasaya Vishnu in the center, and from his navel arises the stalk of the lotus flower, which contains the 14 planetary systems, the upper, middle, and the lower. And of course, at the tip of it is Brahma. So it's very important. And then from him, of course, the next manifestation, the Purushavatara, is the Garbhodakasaya Vishnu in the Kshira ocean. Now he is residing in each and every atom, living and non-living in the universe. So it was a little bit correction. Little bit maybe it happened by
room number 3.
oversight. So that's what I wanted to add. Of course, other things are all fine, Mataji. Nothing to add.
Hare Krishna, room number 3. Yes, who is speaking?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandaprana. We had a good discussion of all the vibhutis which we discussed. These are all the fours which we want to represent. The first one is Krishna says in verse 25 that Yajnanam Japa Yajyosmi. So, of all the sacrifice, he is representing the chanting of Mahamantra. He suggests the chanting is the best. In 4 yugas, there are various paths for liberation, but for Kali Yuga, it is only the chanting, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that Kali Kave Namarupe Krishna Avatar, and also the Yuga Dharma of Kali is also chanting. So, but if we still have a doubt, Krishna himself says that Mahamantra, he is a form chanting of the holy names, he is the sacrifice which he is considering. And same 10.25, Krishna also says that he is the transcendental sound of Om. Everybody would have been so familiar with many mantras, and everybody knows that all the mantras start with Om. That Om signifies Krishna. So even this is vibhuti of Krishna. And the next vibhuti is the time. Krishna represents in 10.30 that he is that he represents the vibhuti time, and even in 11.32 he said Kalosmi Loka Shaikrit Pravritto. So he signifies time, and the time expands and shortens for a devotee based on Krishna's willing. And like everybody said, the other vibhuti is 10.39, where Krishna says that he is the seed-giving father. So everybody would have doubt that how did we come, how did we land here? But everybody can trace back their origin back to Krishna. So he's the Prapitamaha. And even in chapter 14, Krishna clearly says that he is the seed-giving father, Aham Bija Pratapa. So he is the father. So these are all the vibhutis which we like to represent. Deval Mataji, Anita Mataji, Kadambari Mataji, would you like to add anything?
No, Mataji, Hare Krishna, you covered it all. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. That's all we have, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna is a really nice point. Yajnanam Japayantamosmi is very nice to preach that aspect. Okay. So the question was, okay, the preaching application. Help to remember Krishna. Okay, yes. 10:19 to 42. So this is again preaching application. Even also personal application, but then it's okay, nicely put. So we are done with chapter 11. And then after chapter 12, we'll have our second closed book exam. And also the 14 slokas has to be memorized. You can send it as a video clip in WhatsApp, like 7 plus 7 slokas, but not now, after your closed book theory. It might be in, because chapter 12 is just 20 slokas. So by next week, I'll finish chapter 12. And then that is 28. Then by October 5th or something, we can have our second closed book. We'll see. Okay, when to put it. And then
Mataji, open book assignment, Mataji.
No, open book is only 2 after chapter 8 and 10. Over. Only 2 open book assignment in for 1 module and 1 closed book. So it is that.
So we have to finish our second open book, no, Mataji?
Yeah. 10 only finished, no, Mataji, chapter.
Finished, no?
Yeah, 9 and 10, we finished, right?
Second, the open book is not done, Mataji. Only first open book is done.
Second is not done? Okay.
No. Today only chapter 10 is completed.
Yeah.
After
this, that's okay.
Okay, so the second open book we have to post. Okay, Sridevi must keep reminding me because
Okay,
I have to make the link also to upload.
Yeah.
Okay, second open book. Okay, then we'll finish. Chapter 11 is remaining. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Dandavad Pranam. Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Finish chapter 11.
Mataji, we did the second open book.
Huh?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
No, Mataji.
We did the second module first open book.
Yeah,
We
second
finished
module
the
first
second
open.
open book.
Only
No,
one.
both they have not done.
We have to do one more open book. After that,
Yeah,
we'll have to
today
close.
10th chapter completed, so we will get
Yeah.
maybe next week.
After this,
Only today the
after
10th
this, we'll
chapter
have
got
the second open.
Okay, so we are in module 2 and we finished only first open book of module 2 after chapter 8. Now we have finished chapter 10. So second module, second open book is pending. Okay, right. So that will be posted soon. Okay. Yes. Because the previous batch finished chapter 11. So I got confused. Okay, now we have finished 10. So we'll post the second open book question in today or tomorrow. And it'll take like 2 weeks time. Might be till 5th because this weekend is Radhashtami. So might be many have services. So after that might be 5th I can close. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. I think we can end here. Everyone fill the attendance form.
No, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Please in the chat.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Mataji.